All right, so yesterday we started talking more about modes and like interval numbers a bit more, and added some information to this tab that I did download. So I'll be sending this over plus some other stuff. But basically, up here we see the note names being used. So those are the notes being used, and then underneath where the same group of notes is played again, I put the interval numbers to go along with it, so you can see, what intervals are being used, and then also added like note names and interval numbers to the fast picking stuff that comes up after that, and then also have this file where I combined, the harmony stuff into one line, and then had the clean chords going along with it, so you can see how clean chords go along or can go along with something like this, and then added the fast picking stuff here as well. So I'll be sending both those files over to you. So next, started going over this major scale stuff. So basically showing how it doesn't matter what note you start on, as long as you follow this formula of the whole step, half step, 3 whole steps, and 1 half step, you just play the major scale. So starting with that open E, we have whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So remember, a whole step is 2 frets apart, half step is 1 fret apart. So here we go up a whole step, half step, whole, half. So if I start here, let's say the 3rd fret of the A string, and I follow the same pattern, go up a whole step, half step, whole, half. Just played a C major scale. First one I did was E major, then I just played a C major. So let's say I start here, 5th fret on the D string. That's a G note. And I go whole, half, whole, half. That's a G major scale. So again, doesn't matter where you start it. As long as you follow those steps, you got yourself a major scale. So then what we did, we took this and then put the notes next to each other. So this way it's the same notes, it's just in one convenient shape. So again, we have this turned into this. So it's the same thing, just laid out differently. But the notes themselves, how it's spaced, how it sounds, the sound spacing is the same. Alright, so then showing what the major third interval is, and that is 2 whole steps apart. So here, go up 2 whole steps, that's a major third. So if I did it here, and I went up 1, 2 whole steps, that's a major third apart. If I went over here and went 1, and then those 2 whole steps apart, that is a major third. Basically, you just add 1, 2, 3, 4. Add 4, so 3 plus 4 is 7. That would be a major third apart. So next we showed the minor third, which is taking basically a major third distance and then you flatten that note. So a minor third or flat third is a step and a half. So whole step plus a half step. If I start that here and go up a whole step and a half step, minor third. So if I add 3, so 5 plus 3 is 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, I wanted to have the major scale shown again so you can see how the major second interval, or just second, is just a whole step up. And we went over that one specifically because that was in that fast picking riff, or wherever it was. So yeah, that would be a major second there. Now, the next thing, or one of the next things we started going through, is showing how we take the major scale. So we have those notes. So in this case, we got E major, and we're using E major first because the song, at least for now, is primarily in E minor. So we got the E major scale, the E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, G sharp, and then up to E once again. So we see the interval numbers next to that. It's just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 again. So you compare the E major scale to the E minor scale. Well, we flat the G sharp down to a G. We flat the C sharp down to a C. And we flat the D sharp down to a D. Or, looking at it from the intervals, which is really important, we take the third interval and make it a flat third. We take the sixth interval, make it a flat six. And then we take the seventh interval and make it a flat seven. So the big thing to remember with Aeolian, the Aeolian mode has a flat third, flat six, and flat seven. So the third, six, and seven are flat for Aeolian. So I'm going to play the major scale, or Ionian mode, and then the minor scale, or Aeolian mode. Now, you take that same shape, hold up, yeah, that same shape, and just move it around anywhere. But now that we're up higher on the fretboard, it's nice to have this lower octave of the flat 7, so this way you got more to fiddle around with. So, homework stuff. Yes, keep doing the improvisation stuff, the guitar solos and all that. Keep practicing the scale shapes. But I also want you to try and write some riffs. Improvise, just messing around in those shapes. And, we used some more black metal influenced stuff yesterday because of the song we're using. So, and it doesn't really matter what backing track you use. If we did black metal drum track, and yeah, just use YouTube to find stuff, whatever you like. Let's see this one. First one that came up. Let's see how this sounds. Staying in those shapes. And then just move it around. shape around all over the place. So yeah, just search for like black metal drum track or metal drum track, whatever you like the sound of. Just start messing around with it. And you can even just mess around with stuff without a drum track. Just have fun with it there. So, yeah, lots of improv this week, and memorize those shapes. That's another thing I want you to do. Do your best to memorize those shapes. So basically, you got your E major scale or E Ionian mode shape, E minor or E Aeolian mode shape, and then this other mode shape here. It's Aeolian, but it's got that extra flat 7 thrown in an octave lower. And there we go. All right, any questions come up, let me know, and I'll see you again next week.